10 great Pokemon cards that you can get for under $10. Let's get into it. If you're new to the Pokemon TCG or just looking to collect on a bit of a budget, then this is the video for you. I've compiled a list of 10 singles that are about $10 or less each that would look amazing in any collection and have potential to go up in value over the next few years. So if you're looking to invest a little bit into singles, just dip your toes in or just expand your collection of cards, there will be something on this list for you. So these cards are in no particular order here. I've got some modern cards going back into the XY generation a little bit. Nothing too vintage. I wanted to focus on stuff that's kind of easy to get, more accessible, but is it really worth it? A good bang for your buck, in my opinion. So to start off, let's take a look at Obsidian Flames with the Scizor illustration rare. In my opinion, this is one of the best cards in the whole set, and it's only going for about $4.50 right now. You can probably get it cheaper. I bet you could get it for $4 if you're in the right place at the right time. Go into the card shop, anything, looking for deals. Amazing card. The reason why it's cheap is because Obsidian Flames has, a low amount of illustration rares. It's a smaller set, so a lot of the illustration rares are pretty cheap, but this one stands out. I think it stands out amongst all the illustration rares, in the whole Scarlet and Violet era so far. This is a strong one. I think it would look amazing in any collection. From there, Temporal Forces with the Arbok illustration rare. This one's a little more expensive. It's going for about $7.50. I think this one has more potential for value over time because it is an original 151. There's always a little bit of a premium on those OG Pokemon. Artwork on this is amazing, and again, I think it would go great in any collection. A lot of these illustration rares are pretty cheap. I'd imagine they won't go up too much over time considering that there's so many of them and they're not that difficult to pull, but this is one that I think will go up a little bit over time. We're not talking $20 or anything crazy like that, but for under $10, I think this is a steal. Now, another one I think is a bit of a steal is Quaxly from Paldea Evolved. Quaxly seems to get, slept on a little bit. Not a lot of people like Quaxly, which is fair, whatever. I think Sprigatito and Fuecoco are better as well. My girlfriend Maggie actually thinks Quaxly is the best out of all three Paldea starters. I don't know about that, but this card, either way, it's a lot trickier to pull than the last two we talked about. There are so many illustration rares in Paldea Evolved. Going for $5.60 right now. I think this card will go up eventually. It's an illustration rare of a starter Pokemon from this generation. Down the line, when a lot of the people who were introduced to Pokemon, all the kids that were introduced with Scarlet and Violet grow up, I think this card will be worth a lot more. Under $10, I think is incredible. Like for less than $6, almost a $5 bill, you can grab this card and put it into your collection. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. Now, mixing it up a little bit, I wanted to make a little bit of a wider array on some of my choices here. We're going with an amazing rare. A lot of people might not like this decision, but amazing rare Rayquaza. In the past, most Rayquaza cards have been worth a good bit of money. This amazing rare Rayquaza has not. At the beginning, when these cards came out, it was harder to get them, and they were pretty expensive. This card was going for like $40 raw at one point. Now, it's going for $2.80. It's a Rayquaza. I really like these amazing rares. It's a good modern touch on the classic Pokemon card design. They look great in person. They've got a special texture to them. There are only 12 of them, I think, in total, so you could collect all 12 for probably under $25. I don't think any of them are over $5 right now, but Rayquaza stands out to me. There's been people that have been collecting a lot of these, hoping they go up in value. I have a good few just because Rayquaza is my favorite. I actually like the amazing rares. I think they look really nice. But this card for $2.80, whenever I see it for about $2, I pick one up. I think it's a no-brainer as well. A nice card and a bit different from the illustration rares. Another Sword and Shield card, we're looking at Evolving Skies with the Leafeon V full art. Now, a lot of these full art evolutions are going for over $10 right now, but if you can get any of them for less than $10, I think it's a great card for the collection. Personally, I love full arts. I think they look great. Leafeon is a nice one. I think there are some nicer ones as well, like the Sylveon, the Umbreon, of course, but depending on the Pokemon, it's going to be more expensive. A lot of them are at about $10. This one, $9.50 right now. It has been going above 10, even like almost $12 in the past 6 months. So if you like evolutions, if you want to dip your toes into Evolving Skies, this is a great one to add to your binder. I don't think this one is going to stay below $10 for too long. Next up, we've got the Greninja and Zoroark from Unbroken Bonds. When I compiled this list a couple days ago, it was going for under $10, I promise. It was like $9.50. Since then, it's gone up slightly past 10. It's like 10.06. I'm still keeping it on the list. This card's awesome. I picked up one of these recently for like $4 or something, maybe like a year ago. I think this one has potential to like stay valuable because it's an easy card to hit. It's just an ultra rare GX tag team card. It's not an alternate art or anything crazy, but it is really cool artwork for being an ultra rare. I really like the dynamic of the card being kind of split through the middle. It's got the two Pokemon on it. It's a dark card with the Greninja. Greninja's kind of been getting a lot of attention lately, and I think it's going to make this card go up in value. Again, I don't know how much or like if that value is going to sustain long term, but I think this is an awesome card. It looks really nice. It's kind of a cool one in a collection, especially with these modern cards. You're not seeing too many cards like this these days. It's a cheap tag team card. It's obviously not one of the big hits or an alternate art, but it looks really cool. Next up, one of my favorites from Crown Zenith and kind of slept on, the Hisuian Samurott V-Star from the Galarian Gallery. This card is awesome, man. It's by the same artist that did the Moltres alternate art from Chilling Reign, which is my favorite card from the Sword and Shield block. This card goes hard. I really like these kind of menacing, more evil cards. It looks super cool. I like the symmetry on both sides. It's obviously not perfectly symmetrical, but same kind of balance in terms of design and setting. Looks really nice, and it is cheap. You can get this card for less than $5, $4.75 right now. It's an awesome card. I think it's worth picking up, and it just looks really cool. Like, it's a cool, badass card to have in your collection. Next up, I wanted to throw a gold card in here, so I chose the Arceus V-Star from Brilliant Stars. This has been a very playable card, so it's been a little more expensive over the last few years, but now that it's kind of getting close to rotating out, I think it's going to be a good pickup. Right now, $8 for this. It's a great card. You know, if you're going to get a gold card, I think this is a good one to get. Arceus looks really nice because kind of a simplified color scheme here. You basically have white, gray, gold, and a little bit of green. It stands out really nice. It's a beautiful looking card. And like I just said, if there's any gold card you want to get for cheap, I think this is one of the ones that looks really nice, especially compared to some of the other ones. Like, these cards haven't been super popular, but Arceus, this one goes hard. It looks great. For $8, I think it's worth picking up. Next up, a little older, we've got the Jirachi promo from XY. It's XY 112. This card's going for $7.60. Again, pretty cheap. I picked up one of these recently. Again, I think it was like $5. It's not in the best condition, but it's an amazing card. Some of these older XY, like full art promos look really, really nice. It's very similar to what we've gotten with like the easier hits, I guess, from the Galarian Gallery or the Trainer Gallery sets. Super cool. I think this is a real nice one. And again, would look great in any collection. The last card I want to mention, I've talked about this card before. Some of you might hate it. It seems like nobody wants it, but I think it's a great pickup. It's the Sandaconda V alternate art. What alternate art can you get for under $10? These are really hard cards to pull. It's from Fusion Strike, which is a really hard set to get hits from. It's going for $3.60 right now. Again, this is not the coolest Pokemon in the world. This is not the coolest card in the world, but it's a really hard pull for a really low price. And you know, like I said earlier in this video, these are cards that are for beginner collectors, people who only have a little bit of money to invest and want to see cards that are going to go up a little bit in price. I think this one is going to go up in price. Like, that's craziness to me. It did hit a high of like $8 this year during that little bit of an alternate art boom. $4, I'm looking to pick one of these up. I still haven't picked one up. I've talked about this over the last 6 months, but this is a cool card. I like it. I don't have it. I don't know why. I just haven't really seen it for a good price when I'm looking to pick it up, but I'm going to make it a mission to pick this card up in the future, and I think you should too. It'll look great in any binder. If you're a new collector, this is a great card to just pick up, throw in your collection. It's cheap, it's hard to pull, and I think there's potential for a return on this card in the future. Alright guys, so that's my top 10 list. Let me know in the comments below, do you have any of these cards? Do you think any of these cards are good pickups? Or do you think this list is absolute garbage? Let me know if my takes are just terrible or if you agree with anything. Do you think the Sandaconda is a good pickup? Do you think the Rayquaza Amazing Rare is a good pickup? I don't know. Maybe you have some better cards under $10. Let me know. I love getting comments. I love replying and interacting with you guys and talking about the hobby. And if you ever want to talk to me more, hit me up on Instagram, TrevorTCG. DM me whenever you feel like it. I'm always happy to respond and have a conversation. All right, guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.